This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. No, it's not a boy this time. It's a birthday girl this time. And this girl is actively in basketball. She is the head coach of the Las Vegas Aces of the WNBA. She was previously the assistant for the San Antonio Spurs. So she played for Colorado State in basketball, which I didn't think Colorado State, yikes. But anyway, she would play for San Antonio and the New York Liberty in New York of the WNBA and for several teams outside the U.S. She was the first female full-time assistant coach in NBA history by 2014. It was also the first full-time female assistant coach in any of the four major sports in North America. She was actually a acting head coach after Greg Popovich was ejected in December 2020 against the Lakers. A year later, she became Las Vegas's head coach in the WNBA. And, she was good. Her name is Becky Hammon. She's 45 years old today. Becky Hammon was born in South Dakota. All that. She looked good and all that. She was considered too small and slow by Colorado State. Thought something of her, so she did it. She helped Colorado State do well. In 1999, they got to the NCAA Sweet 16, the ladies' Sweet 16, obviously, and had a lot of Colorado State records and all that. She had her number 25 retired by Colorado State. She was undrafted for the WNBA, so she decided to get to she signed with the New York Liberty. She was the backup to point guard of New York, Teresa Weatherspoon. She was a favorite of Liberty fans and all that. She looked pretty good and all that. She would also play in the National Women's Basketball League in the offseason. So Hammond looked good for WNBA, helped Liberty and all that. And then New York traded her in 2007 to San Antonio, the Silver Stars. So Hammond did pretty well for herself. She had the nickname Big Shot Becky because of her shots in important moments. Hammond would give San Antonio a record in 2008, the best record and all of that. But they lost the final to Detroit in 3 straight games. San Antonio tried their best and all that. But she never got a title. But she was inducted into the Ring of Honor of the WNBA and all that. And San Antonio would retire her number 25. Hammond expressed aspirations of becoming coach after her playing career ended. So after tearing her ACL, she attended Spurs practices, coaches' meetings, and games to contribute opinions. The Spurs decided to make her an assistant coach in 2014, becoming the second female coach, but the first to do it full-time because the other one, Lisa Boyer, worked as a volunteer assistant with Cleveland. Hammond's contribution to the staff made an impression on Greg Popovich, knowing that Becky Hammond would be good and all that. Becky Hammond earned the respect of many NBAers throughout the league. So she did pretty well for herself. The Spurs asked her to coach them in the Summer League in 2015, leading them to the Las Vegas version of the Summer League, winning the title. Hammon became the first woman to be part of an All-Star coaching staff at the 2016 All-Star Game in T-Dot. So she almost was GM of the Milwaukee Bucks. But anyway, after Greg Popovich, December 30th, 2020, was booted for talking smack about the officials, Hammon took over as coach, but the Spurs lost by 14 points. And then Hammon was named head coach for the Las Vegas Aces in 2021. Las Vegas is kind of San Antonio. So San Antonio moved to Las Vegas. So with New York and San Antonio, she played 450 games in the regular season, 13.9 points per game. In the playoffs, her best chances for a title was 2008. Surprisingly, New York never got a title in her season and all that. But yeah, San Antonio, she tried her best, but in the end, she couldn't win a title. 12 points per game. Here's the weird thing, and I know it's controversial in a sense, but after learning that she was not invited to try out for the U.S. national team, Hammon announced she would try to claim a Russian spot on the Russian national team in 2008. And Hammon became a Russian citizen in 2008 to play for them at the Olympics. It was like, what the heck? But remember, Hammon played for Moscow in the WNBA offseason and all that. So it was weird. It was controversial, obviously, because she didn't have any Russian ties except for being in the Russian league and all that. Yeah, Hammon said that she wanted to be in the Olympics. However, by obtaining Russian citizenship, her salary tripled, and she looked like she could have won $250,000 for winning a gold medal for Russia from the government, and $150,000 per second. Russia did take bronze in 2008 and didn't do well in 2012 Olympics. So Hammon, you could say she was a traitor and all that. And with all this Russian bullcrap coming up through the system, I don't know what her opinions would be and all that. She is a strong voice in women's basketball and maybe basketball in general. So maybe we want to hear from her. But, she just probably wants to stay out of the limelight. And I don't blame her one bit. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I did.